Welcome to Dr. Russ Air Rifle Adventures. This is my latest gun. It's a Niksan, and it's a collaboration here in the United States between Donnyfl's company in Florida and the Pellet shop in New York. And of course I like my sticker on it just in case I'm at the range and there's any question as to whose gun case is mine or somebody else's. This kind of shows you a little bit of what comes inside the case. Now you can see it's overlapping a bit, and there's a reason. We have a suppressor on the end, but it's not a Donnyfl suppressor. It was a no brand that I had, because right now Donnyfl is not providing pressers as he fights the good fight. But let's take a look at what's in here. A nice polishing cloth. I have to mark these bags because I've got so many guns I get confused if I didn't. But there's some gun oil, some Allen wrenches, some seals, and the standard air pressure connector, all inside that. This is the only air gun I know of that comes with 4 magazines. Now, you know, magazines can cost $20, $25. I think those FX magazines are up in the neighborhood of $70 or $80 each. So as far as I'm concerned, often you'll get 1 or 2, but this Niksan comes with 4. And that saved me $50 minimum. I wasn't quite sure what this was. I've never seen an air gun provide a car keychain. But if you're really proud of this rifle, you probably do use it. This is not the Niksan air gun that's available in Europe and in Africa, because a number of changes were made. I think in a previous video, you saw me changing this hammer spring, which makes the gun, and with the settings of this one, it made the gun more powerful. So the Donnyfl / Pellet shop gun, all under an umbrella a new name called PCP. That's the type of rifle it is. PCP KONG, is in King Kong. And let's go ahead and get into the review of this. Before I get too far off that subject, let me just say something about that case. It had 2 more items in it. A manual. You'd be surprised how many air guns come without a manual. This does have a manual, and it also has one of these foregrips. And not only is it a foregrip, but when you hit this button, it becomes a bipod, and it connects to this Picatinny rail right down here. And that is what allows you to use it. I use it as a bipod when I'm not using sandbags, but I rarely use it as a machine gun. This is not full auto, it's not even semi-auto. This has a beautiful lever, sweet, and pumps 1 round in at a time and does a great shot. But before we get into the features, I'll start back and work to the front. I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you something about the future. I purchased off the internet this ICO Tech critter sounder. This particular one has 200 different calls. I think 10 of them are from coyotes, female coyote, male with pups. So it goes on and eating, whatever. And I can sit here with this remote 300 yards away if I wanted. I won't be. Maybe 80 to 100. And when you turn it on, this thing starts flashing, all done by this remote. And out of this speaker system, out comes many of the animal sounds that I can pick. I can also stick this rabbit, looks like rabbit hair, in here too as a other. And we're going to devote an entire video just coyote hunting with this collar. Let me begin by sharing some humor with you. Some of you who are a little bit older will remember a TV program called Kids Say the Darndest Things by Art Linkletter, and boy do they. And I thought I'd just share a couple of new ones because a real teacher asked this real question to these kids, and here are a couple of their answers. Patrick, age 10, said, "Never trust a dog to watch food for you." Well, not only do we want you to be sharp watching our videos, but we want a little wisdom, and there's a piece of wisdom. Never trust a dog to watch your food for you. Secondly, never tell your mom that her diet is not working. Rochelle, 14 years old, learned, don't ever say that. And Randy, age 9, he had some good advice. He says, stay away from prunes. I can only think about the trouble he got when he got into some prunes. Let's get into this Donny gun. A couple of things. When I put this stock on, let me just start off with a negative feature, then I'll get on to the good ones. There's just a little bit of motion in there. I don't know if you can see that. I can work that out. But this is a cheek razor right here. And depending on how high you want your cheek to come. Now I'm going to put a piece of foam or a sponge or something there, because really one of the main sounds you're going to hear is the ping from that pressure hammer. And by having this just a little bit insulated, it'll work quietly. A second nice feature is that this stock, which fits all AR-15, AR-16 type rifles, here it is, and it has 3 different settings. And once you get it set for yourself, that's probably all that you'll need. Now you can hook a strap down here, in here, and then I'll show you what we'll do up front. But that's how you put a hunting or carrying strap on. This stock, it has the adjustable cheek, adjustable length, and rubber pad. A nice rubber pad back here. Not that this has any crazy kick to it like a real gun, powder gun, but anything that can absorb that is better off. Let me share some features about this stock. The gun is made in Turkey, and Turkey has this beautiful walnut. Now I put wax on it in the beginning, but then I put clear polyurethane coat on it because I wanted it to really gloss. And that's what it's doing now. With this receiver, here is your safety valve. The safety is free, and here's the safety is on, and that would keep you from shooting. See how sweet feel that is? It also has this lower type charging handle, and I want you to look right in here. See that? That's called a pin, and few guns have that. I understand that a lot of new pellets and slugs coming, they really want to have that pin rather than just a flat piece of circular steel push in the next pellet. Over here is your power. Now this gun does not have a regulator. Normally that's one of my deal breakers, but it had some things that I think equaled it out. We'll be shooting it shortly and you'll see the type of groups it provides. But this is a less power. This is your full power. Now in most guns, I've got some AEAs and others, well, you put it on full power and you just leave it there forever. Oh, you'll use up air faster. But that's not, that wasn't important to me. It might be to you. Accuracy's always been the most important item on my deal breaker list. And I've since learned from a guy in competition that when you when you have it on what we'll call the lower power, it's perfect for 35-yard shots. And then if you're going to go out 50, 65, 85 yards, now you go to full power. And again, that extra power is just what brings it into those bullseyes. Now that made sense. Plus the fact I'm using less air when it's on that lower power. The pressure gauge is right here. And here's that Picatinny rail for the handle. I want you to see this trigger. Now normally you have to go into competition before you would fool with a hammer like that, a trigger like that. And let me tell you what it is. It adjusts 4 ways. The bottom can come back and forward. The whole trigger can slant this way for, say, a right-hander. But a southpaw will want the trigger slightly angled that way if you're shooting it from the left. And it's extremely sensitive. This particular trigger, I already ran a test on it, took only 3 pounds and a short throw right from the factory to make this gun go off. Now I'm probably going to work with it and even adjust it more, because I like a trigger that you just kind of breathe on it, it'll shoot. That's the best for targets, and it's not bad for animals too. One problem with that is that you've got to take this stock off to get to those screws. A lot of other guns, you just kind of come in with some long Allen wrenches or long, small screwdrivers, and you can make adjustments. But it's only a screw or two, and the stock comes off, and she's working. Well, as you look this Niksan air gun from top to bottom, you won't find any fixed sights. That might bother some of you. It does not bother me. It's not on my deal breaker list. What I like, and I don't like them to provide the scope. I like to pick my own scope. And what you see here is a scope that we have purchased from CV Life. This entire scope, which, gosh, what is it? It's got a 50mm lens up here. It goes to power 16. So from 0 to 16 is the power. It also has the luminous crosshairs so that we can see in the early morning and in the late night. That's when the trophies move. It also has a laser, and it also has a red dot. And boy, when you have fast animals like squirrels, iguana lizards, etc., that red dot is the way to go. It also comes with these flip-up sights, and it also comes with an objective lens at this end. And as you can see right now, I have it set for 30 yards. I'll later get to set it up to 50, 100, even infinity, before I determine what all I'm going to shoot here. But if you go to the cvlife.com, you'll see all kinds of scopes. You'll see short scopes, which we recommend for the break barrel rifles, and you'll see the longer scopes for non-break barrel. This is the top of the line. I think it was about $100. And if when you do your order, I don't get this. I use it, but I don't get it. Put down Russ 15, and they'll knock 15%. In this example, it's $15 off the price. That's a good bargain in anybody's book. Also over here, probably have to look at it from this side. And it's something you can get at CV Life as well. Here's a leveler, and you want your rifle level when you shoot. It's absolutely the difference between coming in first in airgun competition and coming in about 25th. You want a level airgun. The Picatinny rail is in just 2 pieces here above the magazine. There's the magnet in there. which holds the magazine in place. And one of the interesting things about the magnet, I don't want to charge the gun up, but you have to enter from the left side. I stand corrected. You enter from the right side, but it pops out on the left. And so while the gun is still in this position, I can look down the left side of the barrel and I can quickly see that it does provide an indexing method of knowing just how many shots I have left. By the way, when that bottle is full, just how many magazines of shots can you do before the velocity falls off? 4. If you go up to a 25 caliber, it's 3. And if you like that 17 caliber, 177, you do 5 or 6 magazines before that power drops off. Let's look at the forward end now. I've always had on my deal breaker list, an air gun has to have a barrel that's at least 22 inches or 20 inches long. This Niksan has a barrel that's 22 inches long. And that's for accuracy, I can assure you. Barrels are interesting. You know, I've always thought that the best barrels were made in England or Europe. Boy, if you can get some of that German steel, that helps too. Recently, I've watched Hatson say that their barrels are made out of German steel. They're still the one that's boring them. And in this case, Niksan is saying that this barrel is not like their other barrels. It's a high precision. I'll find out just how high precision it is, but the key is you want a very, very good barrel. At the end, it does come with an adapter for a suppressor, but there is no suppressor. You can use one of your existing suppressors. You can get a no brand, which is what I put on the end right now. But that's the type of things you can do. This bottle here is 275 cc. You can get different bottles, and you can get bottles that are made out of black carbon, and they're even lighter. Since I do a lot of my shooting from a bench here, I don't care if it's a steel bottle or a light barrel bottle. Also, I don't know if you know this about bottles, but whether we're talking about the small bottle on this air rifle or a big bottle from a scuba tank, I got about 7 of those. Those bottles have what's called a burst disc in it. And what does that do? First of all, it makes a hell of a noise if you put too much air in them. And that's their safety net. They know the bottle is made for just so much air pressure. You can get scuba tanks that are for 2,000 pounds. You can get it for 3. You can get them for 4,500 pounds. But they have a different burst disc that goes pang. I mean, you almost think you were shot when it goes off. I was sitting out here once. I had a professional scuba place fill the tank, but it was sitting in the sun, and the heat hit that bottle and created more pressure. And that's what happened here. With the pressure bottle, we have a gauge here, and they want all the pellets to go out of this thing with no more than 250 bar of air pressure in it. 250 bar. Okay, now you saw the Picatinny rail that I've got, this scope which has a red dot, which has the laser, but and it does have a small Picatinny rail for a forward handle, but it needed more Picatinny rail over here for any other accessories, primarily a sling. Well, we're working on that, and I'm going to drop the stock, and well, here it is right here. You can pick these up usually a pack of 4 for maybe 12 bucks on eBay, and this is just going to fit that just right, and it's going to give me a complete Picatinny rail. Now the question is, how do I screw in screws here and not hit this bottle? Well, I'm not going to screw in screws. When I take the stock off, I'm going to use rivet. And a rivet, you know, comes up, and then when you pull it, it flattens out on the back side, and it'll be flat down here. I'll make sure that it does not hit that bottle in any way. But I do like a little larger Picatinny rail. Let's take a look at some of the lettering on it. When it says Ozark TW, what does that mean? And that means Turkish walnut. And when it says TS, it's Turkish synthetic, and it's a poly. Poly's a little cheaper. Understand that this air gun, as it sits here, without the suppressor and without the scope, is $769, something like that. And I have to tell you, when you get a gun this refined, with a wood stock, with a smooth acting breech, we'll get to that, for under $800, for under $1,500, it's a good one. It's a very good one. I want you to take a look, or maybe I can spin it around over here. But here's the fill probe. And the best thing I can say here is that that's your standard fill probe. And the connector that goes on it, which you probably already have if you've had any other PCP guns. And if you don't worry, it's sent in the package with those O-rings, but the connector. And you just put that on, you can pump up, you can fill it from another tank, and it will be filled up in a hurry, and it stays on at all times. Well, I've mentioned several times that it's made in Turkey, but let me tell you by who in Turkey. This air gun is made by the defense team. It's interesting, defense team. I looked it up. They have 168 employees. They make guns for the Turkish military. And like all these other Turkish companies, Kral, by the way, Crossman is now using Kral to make some of their guns. And certainly Hatsan is there, and Niksan. And these guns are made by companies that are 40, 50, 60 years old. And they started with the shotgun business, into military guns. And in the last 10 years, they've gotten into air guns too. And they typically do a pretty good job. Sometimes I wish they would make it out of aluminum or something and drop some weight, like I see so many car manufacturers here in Detroit do. They're not quite there yet. But when you hold a Turkish-made gun, you know it's heavy duty and it's a quality piece that's going to last a long, long time. Okay, the wind is starting to kick up, but let's see how this thing shoots. Here's the magazine, and you may or may not be able to see it, but an arrow is going this way. And so what we have to do is wind this all the way around, and when we get to this other side, we still can't put anything in. However, that's the reason we put in the first one, and we put it in skirt first. Now we turn it around, there's the skirt, and we're able to fill the entire magazine the normal way of the rounded head up front. This is a 22 caliber, so it holds 12. Something that I noticed as I filled this was a lot of magazines that I have that are on this general appearance. You have to take them apart, and that edge there, and there it is again, and there it is again. That edge is very squared, and it has been known to warp the skirt of a pellet, especially when the firing pin comes on through. But this is the first time I've seen magazines in which those edges have already been worn down. I'm not sure you can see it, but it's just as if I had taken my cone-shaped file and put it in there and put this in. What that means is that this can probably shoot with the magazine about as good as it does with the single shot loader. Now she's loaded up, and there's that magnet I was talking about. We come over here, and it takes a moment, but that edge right there, that edge is got to match up with an edge that's in here. And she comes in, there's a little stop there, but notice over here on this side that this is where the magazine shows the shooter exactly how many rounds are left, because it's sticking out on the left. That was a little new for me. Okay, now before we shoot, I wanted to show you what shooting has taken place here at 35 yards. I had a little trouble believing that. Ignore this one here. It was a different gun, a different day, but here is what I shot first, right out of the gun. Then I brought it up a little and shot 6, brought it up some more and shot 6, and then I brought it up. It had already been moved to the left, and I shot 12. You could easily put a quarter there, and I'm in a windy situation. Now what I'm going to ask is Dr. Paula, who's behind me here, and behind the camera, she is going to come up here and watch this next group of pellets fired. And I have to tell you, this is about as tight a group as I've seen on an air gun without a regulator. Now with the regulator, you can put a dime over it, but look how easy that lever is going in. It's ready to fire versus safe. That's easy to move. I want to make sure that the gun is level, so I'm watching that leveler there. And let's just have her take a look down that barrel, or down that scope, and see what I see. This may work, it may not work. Yep. Maybe it's working, maybe it's not. Okay, now she'll stand behind me and just watch me shoot 12 pellets at that target. Okay, bottom left. Looks like it's about a ½ inch to the right. I think I put a pellet on top of a pellet there. I'm sure you can see from a distance that I'm shooting a nice tight group after making the necessary adjustments in this CV Life scope. That suppressor on the end is keeping it quiet. If I was shooting a bunch of squirrels right now, they wouldn't know where the ammo is coming from. No flyers. And finally, I've emptied the magazine with 12 shots. Now we'll get up close and take a look at that target. Maybe you'll see why this is my favorite rifle of my non-regulated air guns, because this Niksan has a gorgeous high precision barrel. As you can see here, we've got a very nice grouping, and this gun's only shot about 100 rounds. Now I have to tell you, I did clean out the barrel. There was cosmoline grease in there. That does not help accuracy. But all the companies, particularly those who make military air guns, or rather military guns and weapons, they coat them with cosmoline. They may be in a warehouse for 50 years. I think the Russians during this war are pulling stuff out of warehouses that are 70 and 80 years old. So cosmoline protects them during this period of time. My next 100 rounds will probably tighten that up. The next 100 will even tighten it, get it about a dime shape, which is what I really am after, particularly with regulated guns, but now with this gun too. While I see it here, I'm going to take that CV Life scope and I'm going to move it a hair to the left, probably 2 clicks and a hair up, and we'll be in good shape. Let's remember this, and I seem to be the only one who's giving this advice, but I promise you in 5-10 years everybody's going to give it to you. These air guns look like powder guns, but they're not. When I drop that wood stock off, you'll see it's a pneumatic gun. Works on air, not gunpowder. Completely different weapon. And one of the things that you want to do is make sure that no oil, grease, dirt gets down into the transfer port, which is below the barrel here, and allows this air to come up and into that barrel. Now, what I propose is that you learn to store your guns on an angle like this, so that anything in that barrel is going to tumble down and out the barrel or into that suppressor, but it's going to stay away from this transfer port. Another thing, well, it's easier to clean, let's say, a brake barrel, because now you can break the gun in half and be dealing only with the barrel. When you don't have a brake barrel, you want to clean with the gun like this. Why? Because any oil or grease, as we're working this, is going to fall out this way due to gravity. It's not going to come out this way. So everything will be here. Then I'll clean this out very well. And besides aiming it up and down with the barrel down, beside cleaning it with the gun upside down, storing it with the barrel down, and I haven't forgotten my promise. This engineer and I have, you won't believe the gun rack that we're developing, and it'll be announced here real short. My wife says maybe we'll start making some money on these videos. We're still burning about $1,100-1,200 a month, and never have received a wage over these 3 years that we've been in business. But we believe this new rack is what's going to save you from going to the repair place and having your air guns, which can cost more than powder guns, head to a repair shop and be gone for months and maybe still not fixed. So our job is to make sure it's stocked, kept, with it not having that problem. Well, let me make a final statement about this Niksan. I think it's a high quality gun. I think it's well worth the price in the high sevens. Most important for me is its accuracy. I wasn't counting on it to be as accurate as it is without that regulator, but boy is it accurate. And that high precision barrel must be doing something right. It's in 17 caliber, 22, 25. I think they're a little slow on their 25s to fill up their inventory. This pellet shop, PC KONG, they're signing up dealers as I speak. So it'll be a while before you see it as a household word, if you will. Let me suggest that you, if you liked everything you saw and heard today, you probably have done it, but if you haven't, give us a thumbs up. And if you have questions, I love questions. Just put it in the comments section. If you'd like to find out about some other gun, know that we have 110, I think this is 111 YouTube video, Rumble videos the same, and I cover a lot of guns in that direction. In the future, I'm going to be talking about that critter caller, and hopefully some coyote will come right on into our zone, if you will. I want you to stay sharp. I want you to stay safe. I want you to stay silent and enjoy your shooting as you've never done before.